The iPhone 12 family is almost 5 months old, and yet there are so many rumors about the next iPhone, aka the iPhone 13. Let's break them all down. And it seems like every year there are more rumors about the next iPhone, and 2021 is no exception. So I want to take a look at some of the newest rumors, some of the most persistent rumors, and I want to figure out what the iPhone 13 really needs in order to be a success. And iPhone 13, yeah, I have no idea what the next iPhone will be called. Could be the iPhone 12s or just the iPhone, kind of like the 4th gen iPad, or maybe it'll be called the iPhone 21 because it's 2021. No clue about what's going to be called, but for this video, I'm going to stick to calling it the iPhone 13 because 13 comes after 12. Let's jump in with my favorite rumor so far, which is that the iPhone 13 will have a bigger battery. The iPhone 12's battery life is good, but it's far from the best battery life we've seen. That would be on Android phones. While Apple has never revealed the capacity of batteries inside the iPhone, sites like iFixit, which sell kits to replace batteries for the iPhone, show that an iPhone 12 and 12 Pro come with a 2,815 milliamp hour battery. Compare that to the 4,000, 4,500, and 5,000 milliamp hour batteries on flagship Android phones like the Galaxy S21 and Galaxy S21 Ultra. What's brilliant is Apple gets so much battery life from that small battery, and it's purely through the efficiency of its A series processors and iOS. Now, imagine applying those same efficiencies to a larger physical battery. Now, this rumor comes from Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, and I hope I hope it's true, because who doesn't want better battery life on their iPhone? And maybe that bigger battery will fuel another rumored feature / need, and that would be a high refresh rate display. Since 2017, the iPad Pro has had a 120 Hz refresh rate screen. Now, the panel on it is an LCD, but rumors from Max Weinbach and display analyst Ross Young point to the iPhone 13 getting a ProMotion OLED. This has been a feature many of us have wanted. And in 2021, we see plenty of phones at all price points with high refresh rate screens. There's a $300 OnePlus Nord N10 5G. It has a 90 Hz display. There's a Galaxy S20 and S21 Ultra with a 120 Hz display. The new Asus ROG Phone 5 has a 144 Hz screen, and the just announced Red Magic 6 phone has a 165 Hz screen. For comparison, the iPhone 12 has a 60 Hz screen. Now, why do you need a high refresh rate screen? Simply, it makes everything look better. Now, that is a sweeping generalization, but it specifically makes animations and graphics look sharper, reduces motion blur, it makes games, especially those designed for high refresh rate screens, seem more immersive and vivid. I do think the next iPhone needs a 120 Hz screen, and I would be fine if it was just a feature reserved for the Pro models. Currently, there aren't a bunch of features that make the iPhone 12 Pro more pro than the regular iPhone 12. But let's talk about another persistent rumor, and that would be the removal of the Lightning port. Since Apple got rid of the headphone jack back in 2016, many people have speculated that Apple wants to make a completely portless iPhone. In December 2020, reliable rumor spreader Ming-Chi Kuo cited that Apple would release an iPhone in 2021 without a port. Add to this rumor Apple's launch of MagSafe charging on the iPhone 12, and it's not impossible to imagine such a feature. However, in its current form, MagSafe charging tops out at 15 watts. Compare that to Warp Charge 30 on the OnePlus 8T, which is double that. Not only would the next version of MagSafe need to be more powerful to be a reasonable replacement to a physical charging cable, but Apple would also need to solve for some of the data sharing that the Lightning port currently affords. Perhaps Apple is hoping 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, and the U1 chip are those data sharing replacements. Or maybe there would be a version of MagSafe with a Lightning port dongle? Who knows? That said, Apple could build into the next iPhone a portless physical connector, much like the smart connector found on the iPad Pro. Just around the corner of the USB-C connector on the bottom of the iPad are 3 flat contacts on the back. And when you use the Magic Keyboard accessory with the iPad Pro, it connects the iPad via the smart connector and magnets. You could plug a USB-C cable into the side of the Magic Keyboard, which also charges the iPad Pro. Now during the pandemic, I can count maybe 3 times where I actually plugged a cable directly into my iPad Pro. I pretty much used the Magic Keyboard to charge the iPad through the smart connector. And since the keyboard has a USB-C port, I can actually use a higher wattage charger. So who knows? Smart MagSafe charging, anyone? Look, even if this rumor is true, I'm not sure this is something the iPhone needs, at least not right now. But one thing many people do think the iPhone needs is something other than Face ID or a passcode to unlock their phone. And that's where the rumor that Touch ID is returning enters the picture. Since the first Android phones came out with an in-screen fingerprint reader, people speculated that an under-the-display Touch ID sensor would be in a way to alleviate the frustrations some people get from using Face ID. And remember, this is pre-pandemic, before face masks were a thing. Now, currently on Android phones, there are 2 types of in-screen fingerprint readers. There's the optical in-screen sensor, and those work okay, but I think those would be a horrible alternative to Face ID. And then there are ultrasonic fingerprint readers, which just got a refresh with the Galaxy S21 series. Now, rumors from, you guessed it, Ming-Chi Kuo, are that the iPhone 13 will have an in-screen fingerprint reader. I have no idea if this would replace Face ID or be an addition to Face ID, but if Apple could get an ultrasonic sensor to a point of reliability, ease of use, and dependability, it's not hard to imagine them on an iPhone. And if Touch ID is paired with Face ID, you could have more ways to secure and access your phone. But as exciting as this possibility is, let's talk about camera rumors, and there are a bunch. Currently, the iPhone 12 Pro has the same selfie, wide, and ultra-wide cameras as the iPhone 12 and 12 mini. It does have a 2x telephoto camera, but it's not the same one as the 2.5x telephoto found on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now, there are rumors from, say it with me, Ming-Chi Kuo, that point to the iPhone 13 Pro getting a larger sensor for its wide camera. Not sure if it'd be the exact same one that would be used on the iPhone 13 Pro Max or not, but this larger sensor might utilize the same sensor-based stabilization, which is currently found only on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The iPhone 13 Pro is also rumored to be getting the same or a similar telephoto camera as the 13 Pro Max. Look, all this means is that the regular 13 Pro model will be much closer to the 13 Pro Max model, whereas the 12 and the 12 Pro this year are exceedingly similar. There are also rumors about a new ultra-wide camera coming to the iPhone. Now, this could be for the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 14. But Ming-Chi Kuo suggests the ultra-wide cameras will have better low-light performance, and Barclays analysts Blaine Curtis and Thomas O'Malley think that the ultra-wide will be getting a faster aperture lens, going from the f2.4 on the current ultra-wide to an f1.8 lens on the iPhone 13. Now, that would certainly help towards improving low-light performance. And I think that all of these iPhone camera rumors, I think these are all things the iPhone 13 could really use. But let's pivot from hardware to camera features, and let's start with portrait mode video. I'm sure most of you are familiar with portrait mode, which lets you take a photo and give the picture an artistic, blurry background. The idea is it replicates a larger sensor mirrorless or DSLR camera and a fast aperture lens. Now, on the iPhone, portrait mode is just limited to photos, but currently there are several Android phones that offer portrait mode video. And in my experience, none of them work great. Some are okay, but yeah, at least something to be desired. Look, this rumor comes from Max Weinbach, so it could be exciting to see what Apple could do with portrait mode video and how it handles all the processing needed to make videos that can blur out the background. This rumor also points to the ability to change the depth of field after you record the video. Now, it would be especially cool if you could also use Apple's portrait lighting looks in video. Now, that's just wishful thinking on my part. Now, I don't think portrait video mode is something the iPhone needs, but I think it would be fun. But let's talk about the last rumor on my list, and that has to do with astrophotography. Currently, with night mode, you can mount the iPhone on a tripod and extend the capture up to 30 seconds. This means under the right conditions, you can capture a starry sky. But when you see what the Google Pixel can do in terms of astrophotography capture, it leaves a lot to be desired on the iPhone. And if this rumor is true, maybe astrophotography still lives under the night mode capture way of doing things, but you could extend the time more than 30 seconds, and or use computational photography to capture a better night sky. And this could be another one of those features that lives only on the Pro models, kind of like the way Apple ProRAW currently does. This is definitely not a needed feature, but a nice to have one, especially if you live outside of a city. So that's all I've got, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about these iPhone 13 rumors? Are there other features and upgrades that you think the iPhone needs? Throw your thoughts in the comments.